Okay, meeting is in live. Hmm. Let's check with this. Okay, let's share this link. This will take some time. Okay, okay. So we are trying to create a project. Well, in my previous videos, you have seen uh, advanced data scraping video 1 and video 2, where both of those are used to create uh, initial blocks of code or initial modules of the code. But what exactly we require is we require to complete it in ReFramework, or at least we need to complete it as a complete project. So that I'm trying to do it now. Let's see. If you have any doubts, you can go ahead and type in them in the live chat. So that this will be something kind of interactive session. And let me start by checking with the data. So I have data like this map sheet where I have industry name, city name, and status. And if there is any exception, I need to have exception. Here I have one more, I added one more column called should run. Maybe this should run. How this works is if a user wants to run it, if he needs to keep true here. If not, the true value can be null or anything else. Only the values with true are selected. That's how I'm trying to add this value. Okay, and let's see. So after getting each and every value, we need to get the values here. If it is manufacturing industry, we need to have this in manufacturing industry. If this is any other industry, we need to get those industries as well. If we have unique data, then it's fine. But since each and everything has its own data, let's go ahead and see with the code. Okay, so what do we have in chat? Live chat, all messages are visible, so you can directly chat in the chat message or chat window. Let me share the screen. I think that will be easier. I didn't share the screen. Fine. If you are able to see it, let me know chat. If you are not able to see it, please do mention. So we have everything in single project now. Extracting, creating a data map, extract companies, extract company details, and company details runner, extract drop down cities, drop down industries. So these two can be ignored for now because those are not required. But let's create few things. We need not use RE framework for this particular workflow, but even if we use it, we can take use of RE framework. But if we are using RE framework, the problem which I am seeing is this particular workflow or this particular sequences should be converted, or the RE framework should be again converted into data that should accept data rows. So instead of that, let me create some three different inputs. So this is extract fundu data. This is where I'm creating a project. So let's go to home and let's create three different projects. Open a new local project. Okay, let's cancel this. Create a new process. I can take use of simple process. One process is used for, we already have map, extract industries, and the next one is extract industry details. So those are the two things that I can create. This is a simple process. So let's go ahead and add extract fundu data. Sub process. In this sub process, company details. So this, I'm using this as to take an input from the user, and what this will exactly do. We already have the code for it. Extracts company details and adds them to Orchestrator. This is the main purpose of this particular workflow, nothing else. We can use the existing code. So people who are in live in YouTube, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop a message. I'll right away try to take them. So where do we have the data? We have this in the project, and in this project, let's go with the main. And before going to that, let's go with Orchestrator as well. So here we have Orchestrator. I'm using a community orchestrator, Microsoft. So I also need to have my robot connected with the orchestrator. So settings, okay, orchestrator settings. So it's already connected. Let's close this. So what services? I have only one service, which is my default tenant. Let's go ahead and create some queues. In the queue, let's add two queues. Extract companies, extract companies, extract all company company details, taking input as map sheet, and add result to extract company details data queue, company extract company details queue. So it's better if we right away go ahead and create something. So auto retry, I'm keeping it as true. Let it be as is. I am not changing anything. There is no SLA. Let's add. So here extracting the companies, and we also need to use extract company details. So takes input from extract companies queue. Output will be result will be stored in specific Excel sheet. So this is something which we have. Let's add it. So we created two queues. One queue that actually checks the data values. So if you see here, manufacturing details, so extracting these details, maybe I can create one more queue to read this particular sheet and to add it as a map. So whatever data values it has, it will directly add. So then we need to create four different bots or four different process. So let's use this one for now. So what this exactly need to do, it should check with the status if the status is completed. But before that, we should also see should run. Let's check with the flow. Main, activities, project, main, sequence, and what do we have in this sequence? We need to read the data first. We already have the code for doing everything. So open in UiPath Studio. So extract fundu data. This is the modular code that where we have added. So we can use that directly. Let's not recover anything because we have all the data that's available. And in the project, let's see with fundu data what. So we need not create any map. All we need to do is we need to extract companies first thing and add it to our code. So directly we can use this. Let's go and let's go to this fundu data, extract companies. Let's add this to our sheet sub process. So this is a sub process, and let's create this extract company details. So let's see what it takes as an input. Project, refresh, extract companies. So we are reading a specific range. Let's see. We don't have data here. Okay. So how do we structure the project? If we keep data in a separate folder, then we need not use all these particular values. So what we can exactly do is delete delete this particular sequences. Let's go ahead and delete them because we are anyway not using them. Except fundu, I think I can remove all the items. So again, this is one of the way that I would like to do it. You need not do it in the same way. Okay, so we are trying to delete, cancel this, and close this. Let's see, extract fundu data. Okay, we have data here, input. So input is something that we can use. And what else do we have? Fundu data, where we have all the things, sub process, main, and project. So these can be deleted because we don't require them. And in fundu data, let's see, how do we add that we need to read it from a separate folder or some specific folder. Okay, let's go ahead and try to add the data or input only into this. So then we will have multiple options again. We will have two sheets where we are trying to maintain data, but that is acceptable. So let's go ahead, copy this data folder, extract company details, paste. So in this data folder, what do I have? So instead of having the complete data in one sheet, we'll try to segregate or divide this. So all we are trying to do here is read the map sheet, and also let's try with the should run. Okay. So extract companies is what we are trying to do. Main. So I'm not doing anything related to this main. I'll just try to invoke this particular flow. So open workflow, and I don't have anything here. Main workflow, I don't have anything here as well. Let's go with extract companies. Here what are we trying to do? We are checking if it is completed or not. And okay, here we will also see should run, and should run. Should run is a particular column name, so we can keep row of should run dot toString equal to true. So this is what we are checking, and it should not be completed and it should be true. Like the row 2, which is 0 1 2, the status should not be completed, and should run should be 2. So let's go ahead and delete these two, and let's see. And if there is an exception, we'll have the exception here. So status, what status do we have? Industry name we have. So all this will come into a different workflow. So here we can actually divide this project now. Okay, and we need not worry about industry name. We need not worry about city name here. So all this project, all this particular sequence. So the only thing that we need to check here is to add it to our queue. So let's extract this as a workflow. And also let's try to change this company name, extract companies. What we can do, or what we can update this as, add queue items to add extract queue items. Okay, here we have something. Let's do it as extract underscore companies taking queue input. Okay, so this created a separate process where we need not use it here. So let's go ahead and delete this. Here only the only thing that we need to do is let's add it as a queue item. Add queue item. So in the add queue item, what exactly do we need to add? We need to add two things: industry name and the city name. Then the properties, deadline, we don't have any deadline for now, so I can just go ahead and create an argument. So that is industry name. Okay, and this is an in argument. We have row of 0, row of 0 dot toString. And in the same way, let's go ahead and add city as well. So here we have city. This is also a row of 1 dot toString, which will give us row and sorry, which will give us what, industry name and the city name. So after writing to this, okay, I think we have the queue name that we need to update here. So let's see with the queue name. So in the queue name, extract company details, we have extract companies we have. So here we need to add this data to extract companies. Queue name, extract companies, priority is normal, and the folder path need not be mentioned. So here what we can write, status we can write as completed, and instead of exception, so here in the add queue item, after updating the add queue item, the only thing that we can check or update is this right cell instead of right cell. So I can add it here, update here, map. So in this map, in this C, I can take index plus 2, I can write it as completed. I think that's how it works. And let's go ahead and close this. So right thumbnail. Let's go ahead and close this. So what is it exactly trying to do? Let's close this one as well. Uh, Here we are just invoking the main. So the main doesn't have any value to it for now, but uh, this extract companies is reading the sheet. It's reading map sheet, and this map sheet for each row it's checking if it is not completed and should run is true, and it should add a queue item. So that's easy. That's the easy thing that it can do. And let's publish the project. Publish. So extract company details. Okay, so the package name, or we can change this. So add data to extract companies can be the package name. Project, rename project settings, add data to extract company queue. Queue. So here we are extracting the companies, adds them to Orchestrator. So this seems to be fine for me. And let's go ahead and publish. Initial deployment. This seems to be fine. Let's publish this. Okay. Now, when I run this particular project, I have this in my orchestrator. So let's go ahead and create a job for it. In this process, let's select a process name, add companies to queue. So I can leave it as is. Description, I can leave it as is. Automatically start a process. When automatically can we start a process? For now, let's leave it. Let's try to run the process instead of automatically starting it. Okay, and here we have data companies dev process. In the jobs, let's create a job, select a process, add companies to queue. So this is what my orchestrator is. Let's see if there are any queues that we can get, queue items. Okay, the process is completed. Let's check with the queues. Okay, we have queues, extract companies. What do we have? Do we have any transaction items? We don't have any transaction items. That be a challenge. We can get, or we can find errors here in the orchestrator. Let's check with the jobs, and this is success. View details, view logs. So what it does, info started and ended. There is nothing else it triggered. So let's try to debug it from the machine, and let's see. Debug. So should run equal to true. This is one thing that it need to check. So meanwhile, though it has multiple items, let's go ahead and check our orchestrator queue. Jobs. This is one item. Processing in progress. We don't have anything. Let's check with the queues. Refresh. Even now we don't have any value. view transactions, no data. Maybe extract companies. We did not write the correct name. Let's try that as well. Extract companies. Add queue item. Okay, this is still running in the background. Let's stop it. What do we have here? In this particular sheet, we need to have it updated. So we don't have it updated, and status equal to empty, nothing, and should run equal to true is also available for us. Let's close and let's see from here. Let's give a breakpoint. Main debug. So is it not finding anything that is okay? Let's break it. What does it have? DT map, current data row, item array it has, industry name city should run, table we have, and item array, all manufacturing, empty, empty, and empty. Cancel. So where do we have all the data? Okay, let's stop it. Data, input, data. So this is correct. Let's keep a breakpoint here. Debug. Now we have the value and DT map which we have, industry name we have, comma and true. Should run value we have it as true. Step into. So what is the current data row? It is having some values. All manufacturing industries, Bangalore. It's true. Okay, I think the problem is with this one. It's not matching with the capital true. So here, let's update this dot true. Maybe now it should work. Main debug. Step into. Okay, let's check with the row item. Cannot evaluate row has errors at current context. Why? Should run. We have should run that's available for us here. Status, is it completed? Status, we don't have anything. So here in this, step out. Let's see if we have any value here. Okay, let's stop. Add queue item, normal. Collection we have, and the correction is also correct. Extract companies. What you guys are doing being in live chat? I think it would be great if you can talk something. I'm like doing it all alone. Okay, let's debug. What might be an error here? Step into. So here we have if condition. Now in this data row, it has some value. Okay, we have this should be as empty and this should be true. Okay, cancel. Step into. Condition is false. Why is it? Okay, let's stop it and let's try to analyze this one. I think this is where we are failing. Right line. Let's add this value to this and let's see. Since the breakpoint is already on, we can directly get the value. Step into right line. So what does it write? It writes true. Okay, stop. So the best way to avoid all these things is to add dot to lower. So in this way, we will be able to eliminate this casing issue. Okay. Step into, step into, step into, step into. Okay. So this is true now. I don't want to continue here like this. Let's publish it and let the bot run for us. Okay. And here we have design. Let's publish this. Publish. Okay. Here, let's refresh. We don't have any data. Job. This one. Start. Select a process. Okay. This is the process that I want. Start running in the background. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and watch the queues. So in the queue, we should have two items. If it will not come now, then it's a problem. Yeah, I think I know the issue here. I did not update the process. So let's go ahead in the process. Let's update. Let's click on explore package, view process, update it with the latest item. Yes, close. And in the jobs, let's start this job again. It would be great if it picks up on its own, but again, let's see. Okay, since it is running in the background, let's see with the jobs and queues if it's able to pick up at least one item. Okay, view transactions. Okay, we have two new items, and in these two new items, if you see view details, in this view details, we can get industry name as well as the city. So our first bot is completed, where this bot will only add the values to the extract companies. And if you see in this particular page, extract companies is what we are trying to do. Now we are trying to add the values to the queue. Now the next step is to extract the values from the queue or to take the values from the queue and to run the process. Let's start a new project, new process, and this process will be also a sub process for undo data sub process. So here um, extract company details taking queue input. So this will obviously take queue input. Okay, so I think I can select this folder and I can add this particular value takes input from queue and process them and add values to different queue. So this is a sub chain process that we are creating. So after one item gets completed, then the second item actually picks up. So there is something that I'm interested in. So I would like to show you that all the values or everything here. Okay, why don't I create this as a background process? Because this doesn't require any UI clicks to be done. So what we can do is we can create a background process. That's a better idea. So let's go ahead and close this and let's check with this. So here we have data and let's take this one. Let's copy this, but let's delete this particular project and let's create a UiPath Studio. But this project will be a background project. The next two projects will be a background project because one project I can run in Chrome, second project I can run in the Firefox, and both need not have any click activities to be done. So no UI interactions are required. I can take this, I can say sub process. So I will update this even, create. And this is the magic of UiPath, or we can say that UiPath has produced an ability to work with web drivers now, so we can use them efficiently. So what do we have in this process? And here we have company details, sub process, and I think we have sub process as separate process. Let's go ahead and okay, for now let's leave as is and let's go to here and let's go to sub process company details and extract companies taking queue input. So this one is not required here. Let's go to sub process and let's add this particular value here. So what I submit or what I use this is in this main. Let's go to the project again, refresh. So in this main I'll invoke this one, but what I'll send as in argument is only the queue name. Open workflow. So there is a missing activity. What activity is missing? Okay, project. What did I miss? We have web API activities, system activities. Okay, let's go and see in the previous project. So how can I do that? I can go here. I can select this one, extract company details, In the activities, there is something that we might have added here. So UI automation activities. Okay. So if you see here, we don't have UI automation activities. Let's add them, but we'll not use them. Let's see how we can avoid UI path. So here what we do have, official release, UI path activities. We do have UiPath UI automation activities. UiPath dot UI automation activities. Let's install them. Save. So this is working fine. So what do we need to add? We need to add project settings. So the best way is, let's close everything and let's take this project out and let's add it to our folder, subprocess, and paste it here. Where can we get our fundo data? Okay, we do have an issue. Let's go into recycle bin and let's take out the latest deleted items and let's see the screenshots, because screenshots are the ones that will help us in understanding group by date deleted. So just now we deleted few project and this is what we need to take. It's a process, paste it here. Okay, I am not having this. So it says only cut. Okay, let's cut it, paste it, copy this, subprocess, company details, paste. So what it exactly does is, it will help me in seeing the values, extract company details, or it allows me to see the screenshots when I try to capture this workflow. So the next 10 to 15 minutes, what we'll be doing, we'll try to read the queue item and we will add the values that are extracted from the page and we'll add them directly into a particular queue item in the orchestrator. So in the main, this particular item, it's showing as attached browser, but before that I think we need to open a browser. So here we can keep as open browser. Okay, something like open browser. So in this, let's add this particular URL. So again, this I'm kind of writing everything as static, but we will convert or we'll change it to dynamic later. Fundo.com. So this is where I would like to use. This is what I would like to use. And once I open the browser, see the browser, even the browser, what type, browser type I use. Okay, for now, let's add Chrome. So I use Chrome. And communication method, let's add WebDriver instead of native driver. So what WebDriver will do is, it will start the process in the background. It need not have Chrome to be installed for our process to run. So that's a best thing that we can take from this. And here in the UI browser, let's take this as an input. UI browser. So what is this? Okay, let's add it be small so that we can take this value. So instead of attaching the element, I can use this even. So in this open workflow, I can attach the window. Obviously, I can do that. But here, if you see the browser type, I can change this to Chrome. Okay, and what else can I do here? So this is of type Chrome, and we are using this particular value. So when we are using open browser, the problem that we will have is we need to close it after the project ends. So here we can use this and we can say that close tab, because this will have a background session that's open. So if we don't use this close tab, the session will be remaining as is. It's better to close it. Open workflow. So in this index, let's add in underscore. What do I have here? I need to have a queue name, and this index and row till the browser can be a variable. So I need not worry about all these things now. And let's see with the queue name. So here in the queue name, what am I trying to do? I need to use for each loop to get the value, and if I have a value, then I need to work on this. Okay, that's how it will work. But how can we maintain the session, or how can we maintain the transaction item? That's what we need to see here. I don't have row here. I can use get transaction item to get one transaction item, and I can use it. But if there is an error, it will fail. So let's convert this into ReFramework. That's the best thing to do, because this kind of a workflow, it takes the input from somewhere and adds it to a particular place, and we will not write any code for it. So this, in this particular project, we can definitely use ReFramework. Okay, let's create some dummy ReFramework. UiPath Studio. Okay, let's add a robotic enterprise framework. So this is again a dummy one where I can take the files from it, extract. I can use this particular value. So here, quick access. So where do I have? We have it as input. Let's check with UiPath. So this is a dummy framework again. So what I require? I require main. From this, I can. What do I have here? I just opened this one. So let's change it to main underscore so that it will not change. So I can take everything, data, documentation, exception, screenshots, framework. I think I can take everything and I can paste it here. Extract company details, taking Q as an input. Okay, do I need to replace something? Skip these files. I think that will help us. And okay, here we have with RE framework now. Let's refresh this. We have everything, input as well. So in the data folder in the config sheet, we will have the queue name. So let's take the input from this queue name and give it. So what are we checking? So extract companies is the queue name that we are looking for. This is where we need to. Okay, let's add the value here. Okay, what do I have? Okay, okay. So we are taking the QNAME directly, so there is no need to change anything as of now. Let's close it. And since we are using ReFramework again, we will have the facility to invoke the values, and this one, let's add it in the main, in the initialization, unit all applications. Let's add it here. So what again error do we have? Proper UI browser. I can delete this UI browser. I need not have it at all. Now, this is a communication method of WebDriver. So to have this here, I need to have the path that's already there in my path environment variable, and also I need to have in C drive in WebDriver I have Chrome and Firefox WebDrivers. So there is a separate video of mine where how you can use Chrome and Firefox WebDrivers. You can check with that. But for now, let's take this away. Take this away. Let's go with main. And in this main workflow, we don't have anything. So we can delete this to avoid confusion. So we need to make something as main, then we can delete it. Set as main, delete this one. Yes. Now what do we have? We have init all applications that is done. From get transaction data, we'll have the data. So this is the simplest way where I can use the particular item. So invokes process. So this is what I need to do, nothing else. And here in the arguments, I have transaction item. In this transaction item, I can send in the value, or instead of using queue name, what I can do is I can, what do we have? So industry name we require. So this can be a in argument. But if you see here, what do we have? Industry name, if it has ampersand, then ampersand should be replaced with this. So let's take two items in industry name, the second one in city name. So these two we need to take. Now how can we extract the values from these two? Okay, here we have city name and here we have city. So here I can just pass in the value here, and for this particular item I think I can use this one in underscore industry name. I think here we have a value. Now what are we trying to do? We are clicking on some specific item with span and finding the results. If the element is existing, then fine, or else let's add the values to queue. So instead of writing it to a cell, making that this is no result, so what exactly can we check is we can throw a business rule exception here. Activities, throw, throw, and here in the properties, new business rule exception. And what business rule exception it has? No results. For this map. So for that particular mapping, we are saying that there are no results. That's it. Now, if you see in the init all applications, What kind of browser are we using? We are using Chrome. So let's go ahead and change these values to Chrome. Okay, attach a browser properties. Let's change this to Chrome, and as well let's delete this. So this is not required for us. And also here, attach a browser, extract structure data table. Though we don't use it, let's add it. Search scope, we don't have anything as of now. Append range, so here is what matters. So let's go ahead and delete this, and here let's add queue item again. So this add queue item will send input for the next items. So what data can we send from this particular sheet? Let's see with the data that we already have. Data input. Okay, here we don't have anything. In company details we may have data input. Yeah. So I need to have industry name, city, the manufacturing industries. Okay. So I need to have something like this. Company name I need to have, URL I need to have, industries I need to have, sub industry also I need to have, sector. So all I need from here is till location. If you see that there is some error with this particular item, let's grab the text and let's see. If you see here, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, we are unable to get the values. So let's copy this and see why we have an error with this. Okay, company name. Okay, we have the values, but there is an error in extracting few things like location. Where is location? We have location here, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So head office. Head office, we don't have head office. Okay, this is head office, India's top 500. Okay, industry we have. Then why did it fail to extract level of office? We have sector, we don't have sector. So this is where we'll have an issue. When we are trying to extract, we are extracting company name, level of office, location, but since the sector is not available, it did not extract the correct values. So I can check with these things now. So if the sector is not available, let's go ahead and find the values. Okay, this I think we can leave it as is, or let's see what do we have. We need to extract the sector. Okay, so we need to have the values obviously, but when we don't have sector, then it will be a problem, and we cannot do. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, earlier I extracted this complete structure, but in this particular structure few items are having this particular sector, and few items are missing with sector. Now when, okay, see here, turnover in queues. So if I select this one, let's check with all manufacturing industries, and let's check with Bangalore. So what do I have? I have sub industry, company, everything, and along with that we should have something called sector. Okay, we do have sector here. So what did we miss? Level of office. We have sector here. Sub industry. I think we missed sub industry. Yeah. Industry we have, but sub industry we don't have. Let's see again that particular item. Industry we don't have sub industry. Company type we have, which is a sector. So in the industry, sub industry, company type we have, level of office we have, but we don't have a sub industry. So that's the reason it failed to extract sub industry. Now, how can we extract the values? That's the question. When we don't have sub industry, we need to eliminate it. But let's see. So here we have cement, marble, and stone. Let's see with cement, marble, and stone, and let's see with Chennai office. Let's see what data do we get. Okay. So okay, here we can actually target something. Few items have sub industry and few items are not having sub industry. If we can target two items continuously having sub industry, then we will be able to get proper value. Let's see anything, any place, sub industry continuously available. Okay, sub industry we have here, but here we have, okay, here we have the values. So let's go ahead and delete this, delete this particular item. So add queue item, I can actually remove this complete value. Data scraping also I can remove, and I can go ahead with data scraping directly. I can select this list. Next, so what are we extracting? We are extracting enterprises. No, let's see. Am I doing it correctly or not? I need to go with Dakshin and then I need to go with this one. So let's go back. Next, Dakshin exports. No. Let's check with next item. Okay. So here it is again. Now when I'm trying to extract this particular value, I okay, let's see with sector now. So here what do we have? Company name and extract the URL. We'll have this as URL. Next, extract correlated data. In this section, let's see with industry. Next, and here also let's see with industry. Here we have industry. Okay, click on next. Extract correlated data, sub industry. Next, sub industry. Okay, here is what will have an issue. A few items are not having sub industry. There it is selecting company names instead of sub industry. So this should not be the condition. So it should extract only sub industry. If it is not available, then it should keep it as empty. We should not go ahead and fetch the next item or existing item. So how can we do that? Best way, not to use data scraping, and using something which is a longer process. Okay, let's see with this item. First, we need to fetch all the tabular items. Now, after fetching all the values, we need to find the children in it. And after finding the children, we need to extract the values. So, how to do that? Okay, let's see. Recording, web recording, copy this, and so that is text or the company name. Okay, copy text, and what else do we have? Trimex, we don't have anything in this. Get text or copy text, cement and marble. If I can indicate anchor, then it will be good. Industry is the anchor for me. Industry is company type, indicate an anchor, company name, copy. Let's add sub industry as well, indicate anchor. So I need not worry about having it in a sequence. I can check it later, indicate anchor, level of office, copy, location, indicate anchor. So this is the location that I have. Okay, so here our requirement is such that when we are taking the input from the user, we need not worry about the location, because when you see the location here, it's showing Chennai and Tamil Nadu. There might be the same company in different locations. Then we will have locations separated by comma. If you can see here, where do we have this? See here, this company, particular company is available in Bangalore and Karnataka as well. And in the same way, we'll have multiple options. And Bangalore, okay. So Bangalore in the state Karnataka, which the user is not interested in. All he is checking is with the name of the city, which we are trying to extract or which we have already extracted. So let's go ahead and save it for now, and let's see what are we getting. Save and exit. So what do I have? I have a text. Now in this text, I should also have a URL, because if I don't have a URL for this text, then again it will be a problem. So here what I can do is I can add get attribute, and in this get attribute I can indicate one item like this Trimex Sands Private Limited, and here if you see with the selector, we should have a URL of that particular item. So here in the main, there should be something in the href. So if you are able to extract href, then it should be fine. And here in the Sands Private Limited, I think we can use this as a name to extract the values. So let's go ahead and let's give href. So Fundu data, this is Fundu data URL again. Again, the company data URL is different. Now here we are going to get, what are we going to get? Control K, str, fundu data company URL. So this is str fundu data company URL because the actual URL is different from the one that we are trying to get. Now here get text, okay, here we are using get text, but there is a catch here. How can I know that I need to extract only this particular value, because we have a list of elements that we need to search for. So how can we get it? So the best way is to use find children. Find children, and in this find children, let's indicate this particular table. Okay, let's select the table. Let's select this one, then we can update. Edit selector, open a new explorer. So now how this works, let's see that. First I'll go and, so since I'm unable to use data scraping, so I'll try to use this, annotate. So this is the way how I am trying to do. First I will go and fetch this complete list of items. So in this particular list, I will have all these particular items as children. So this is one child which is of index 0, and this is having a child which is of index 1. In the same way, we have different children. Now in this children, if we are able to focus this, then we can individually extract. For this children, get me the company name, and for this child, get me the industry, and for this company, get me the company type. So again, we can fetch in such a way that if, let's say that this particular item doesn't have sub industry, so in sub industry it will have an error. To avoid it, what we can do is we need to keep continue on error equal to true. So what it does, even if the element is not available, it will continue. And let's try. See, industry and company type will be there for sure. Only thing is the sub industry may or may not be available. So if that we can take, then it should be good. And here we have industry top, and clear clear all drawings. Okay, let's close this. So here what do we have? Industry top we have, and for few items it is 500. For top 500, industry type, company type is SME. So anyhow company type will always be there, but let's check with the sub. For now let's check with the sub industry only. So where are we having sub industry? So this is where we are having, and let's go ahead and indicate an element. So this is the element that we are checking for, but we need to check with the parent first. So this is the tr, and this is a div, and let's see the way how we configure the items. Okay, let's keep the highlight element. So everything is a div here. We don't have one item, now we have the second item. We don't have the third item, we have the fourth item. So again, we are having an issue with the selectors. Though we are able to fetch the values, the divs are not proper. So what do we need to see? The span. So this div is separate from this div. Okay, let's see. Maybe if we can get the table. Okay, find elements we can use, and in this find elements, t body, tr, table row, and in this table row we have all the td. So this is a td again, and this is a div. So for each and every item that we have, we need to target this. So what are we exactly looking for? We are exactly looking for a div that has a table. So this div is empty div, so we can eliminate or leave it. What we can see is a div that is having a table. So first we need to use find element, and in find element we need to, I think if we can use find element, that we can give or we can get the result. Let's see, this div again is an empty div. Again we have a value, again an empty div, which we have here. I think that's a address or advertisement, empty div. So again we have advertisements in between, so we need to make sure that we did not add advertisements in our workflow. So where is the advertisement? I think the advertisement is here. So in this advertisement, do we have table? Yes, I do have a table. I do have a t body. So this again has a tr, and this is having td. Hmm. Okay, td with a div script. Okay, this is having a different structure altogether, but if you see till here everything is same, like till the td. What changes is within the div, inside the div. If, okay, see here, inside this particular div, if we have some text, then it's fine. But again here if you see div, we have only one td. But here in this div, okay, let's open this. Here we have scripts, but here we have two divs, this one and this one. So how can we extract the values from such a kind of structure? And also we do have a problem of getting the values from here. Okay, we have tr. Okay, so I do have an idea here. So what idea it is, see, when we are extracting, let's extract the extract the values, like the complete row, industry with the value, company type and the value, level of office and the value, location and the value, so that we need not worry about pagination first thing. So the pagination will be handled by UiPath data scraping. All we need to see is how we add a particular value into a particular corresponding element. I think that can be a better option here. So let's go back, cancel, cancel, and let's click on cancel. So again, this is a live project that I'm trying to do here. I haven't done it earlier. So the idea need to come upon checking with the different possibilities that we have. So let's select an element. So all we have is company name, no, next item. So we have this as company name, and here we have undo data, company URL. So this is undo data company URL, not URL that is related to. our company. So here I can keep it as 0, extract correlated data. So what data can I extract from this? I can extract till website. I think I can do that. Let's see if I can extract this particular row. If we can extract the row, then it will be easier. Okay, so what I can do, I can expand this. So we have an item, back, extract correlated data. All we need to do is select that particular row item, tr. Okay, let's select this one. Let's see. Next item, cement. Okay, so what do we have? So we cannot mention this as a row, so let's mention it as prop1. So this is one property, prop1. Next, so this is one property where we are trying to extract correlated data. Company type. Next, company type. So this is prop2, some kind of property that I'm trying to extract. And here extract correlated data, head office. Next, head office. So again, this one with prop3. I'm not checking with the items here. Again, extract correlated data, location. Next, here I have location, prop4. Let's extract phone and website for safe side. Extract correlated data. Next, so prop5. Next, so we have all the props here. And see, for few items it extracted Chennai, and for few items it did not extract Chennai, but we'll try to correct that later. Extract correlated data, website, and extract correlated data, website, prop6. Next, so in edit definition, let's see. So what are we having here? So in this particular item, this is where we need to concentrate more. So in the T body, we have TD. So this is where we are extracting the values for every item, prop till prop6. So first and second thing is fine. So here in the extract item, for every row, we have few items to be taken, and we have full panel, div, search, div, table, body, TD, and left. We have taken this, but in the columns, let's see what are we having. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's sleepy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this doesn't have any requirement. So here we have company name, that's fine. And we also have a URL which we are extracting here, name and URL. Okay, here is what we need to concentrate. In this TD table body, table row equal to 1. Okay, TD TD IDX. Okay, so what exactly do we need to check is if we are having this particular item. Okay, F12. Let's see with the use case. Okay, I am selecting this particular item, but if you see here, this is not what I actually want. We want this one, which is TR. T body has TRs 1, 2, 3. Let's highlight this one. Okay, this is one item, this is one item, this is one item, this is one item, and this is one item. So instead of extracting TR with TD again, so this actually is saying like this is one table. Again, in this table we have two data table datas, and in the table data, in the first column we have something called the column name. The second column will have the particular value. So how exactly can we do it? So instead of checking with the items, let's go ahead and fetch the columns types. TD we have TR, we have TR2, column 1. So this is the name, TD-IDX2. Okay, I think I can remove this particular item so that we are extracting TR, and here even this we can remove. Okay, let's go back, and here TR3. So instead of taking only TD2, we're extracting the complete row. This is what I'm trying to do. So let's see if it comes or not, but we can give it a try. Export. Okay, so here we have all the values. Click on OK. Okay, now this is where we see the difference. Here now what do we have? So instead of having only the cement, we have industry with the name. So key value pair, this is what I'm checking for. So we are checking for a key value pair. If this is company type, then it should be company type, and this is of level of office. If it is level of office, then we should go for level of office. So that's the reason I extracted this particular item. So is it paginating? Yes, it is paginating. Let's go ahead and give the page nation. Next, next. Come on, save it somewhere. If not, I need to do everything from the beginning again. Uh-huh. Let's let's use this edit values properties which we have. I can use this extraction XML editor. So I have this value industry column name, so I can remove this one TR. I should have done this earlier, but anyhow, Let's go ahead and do it now. So let's go ahead and try this. So till 5 we have. I think this should be enough. Okay, and let's save it. In add queue item, what details do we need to add? We need to take for each row, and we need to add the values. That's how these work. But again, that's a headache process. Okay, for now, I would like to stop this use case here. But what can be done is, see, instead of, okay, I can show you this one now. Instead of adding it to queue item, let's just add it to a, okay, control D. Let's add it to a right range, workbook right range, workbook right range. In this workbook right range, I can add data.xlsx. So this is just for my understanding how the data is being extracted. So instead of right range, I think I can also use append range so that it will not rewrite and I need not worry about where it writes. It will just write whatever data it extracts. So this one I can delete, and here we have dt, or what data table is it? An extracted data table. So let's give it as extracted data table. So do you have any questions meanwhile? If you have, go ahead and chat over YouTube. Let's go ahead and try to add these values. I think that should be fine for me. All I need to see is some values. And here, let's go to the main. And what are we trying to do? We are trying to extract the values. So this I can close, save. Anyhow, this is not working. And if I run this process, it should take the values from particular queue item and it should add. So that's a simple process that we have created. Okay, so what does it say? Project open browser is not executable. WebDriver executable is not compatible with the browser version. Please download appropriate executable. Okay, if that is not executable available, then let's change the browser type, and init all applications. Let's add, okay, properties. Let's change this communication driver to Firefox. So Firefox should also work for us. And here in this, let's change this to Firefox. Properties, browser type Firefox. Here in this, and here in this as well. So we are using only attached browser in two places. If I want to, I can even remove attached browser at the bottom. So let's try main debug. It need to fetch all the values from the config. In the config we do have the column, the orchestrator queue name. So I did not change anything as of now. It should open the browser. Opened. If you see, there is a bot symbol which says that this is running in the background. Okay, let's see if things work or not. So what do we have now? Attached browser executing. So what does it require? Okay, if it fails, let it fail, and let's see with the result. Okay, so this particular attached browser is failed because it is with Internet Explorer. So let's stop this and let's try to update this. I thought I updated it already, but somehow, yeah, this is Internet Explorer. Output attached browser IE Explorer list cannot find your element with this selector. Okay, let's try to edit selector, highlight. Okay, again it's taking Internet Explorer value. Let's close this, validate. Okay, indicate element. So this is what we need to indicate. So again, app Firefox is not what we exactly require, and even in the title, corporate data is what is being shown. So there is a URL. I think I need to change somehow with this, or I should remove this particular Firefox. If I select only Firefox, then this will run only in Firefox, which I don't want. But let's see if I'm able to extract few values or results. Maybe I'll try to keep it, and in the URL I will eliminate this one and I will check with star. This will work for all the things. Validate. Okay, let's save it. Let's keep it, and let's see if we have this particular item or not. Validate. Okay, this particular item is not available. So what I can do is I can go ahead and select some item, manufacturing industries. So Bangalore, select. I think the selector is different from there, so I can change it. But for now, let's go ahead and edit selector. Values edit again. Okay, let's click. Let's click so that it gets available. Okay, even now it's not coming. Tag name LIAA. Okay, there is no other go. For now, let's go back to our Internet Explorer. Then properties, Internet Explorer. Let's press Control Z, Control Z. Okay, we have HTML title. Let's go back to Internet Explorer and init all applications. Let's change this to Internet Explorer again. There is a way to do it, but for now, let's continue to complete the task. So we are not using Firefox now, and we should be able to extract these values. Let's go ahead with the main, open. Let's see if we have values, services, this particular service. In the queue items, we should have at least one item, or else it will not work. So let's see if it is available or not. Jobs, queue, we have one item. Let's go ahead and fetch values for that item. Okay, attach browser executing, list executing. extract companies, focus, break. So this attached browser is having an error now. Why don't I change the URL? I think then I can get the correct values. Stop. Let's copy this and cannot find. Why is it unable to find? So here we have title fundo.com, edit selector. Yeah, we are able to get the values properly. Anyhow, let's go ahead and change the URL here. So now when it fetches, it gets the correct value. Debug, go to main, debug the solution. Okay, but I think we will have an issue. We don't have any data. So prior running this particular job, let's go ahead and run this job again so that we'll have a data. Process, extract, queue, start. So anyhow this will run, but let's go ahead and check with this one as well. And to make sure that you understand that this is a background process. So I think this should start main. Okay, program is starting. End process. Why do we have end process? Closing all applications. No transaction data. Okay. I think. Okay. Here it is. When we updated this, when we ran this particular code, it updated the values in Excel. I think that's the reason it's not running. View logs. What logs do I have? Input, extract data, machine. Let's see with the queues. Do you have any item in progress? Let's refresh. View transactions. So I think these two items are changed to completed. That's the reason it's not trying to write again in this particular items. So what we can do is we can go back home. mm, Add companies to queue. Let's remove that completed state. Extract companies. Here in this, let's remove this state so that we can run it multiple times. For now, let's go ahead and publish this. Publish. Publish. Okay, we need to update the process. So view process update, yes, close. Let's go with jobs. Let's so here let's see if we have any queue items that maybe it extracted. No, it did not. Let's see with the input that we have. I'm sure that they should not have the data updated as completed in the map. So this is still pending. It's writing in the code file which we have deployed. So that's fine. Let's go ahead and run this bot queue process. Okay, there is no need for a new process now. Let's start the bot. Adding the values to the queue. Start. Now this should add two values to the queue items. Let's see. This should add view transactions. Okay, we have two new items, and the data, even when we run the bot for the second time, new data will be added. So that should be fine for us. Where are the jobs? This is running. I think I can stop the bot run. I can stop it. Yes, since we have already added the values. Now let's see with the queues, and here we have two items remaining. Let's go with our bot here. Main debug. Opening a browser, getting one transaction item, and it should update in this particular values. Okay, industry name dot replace. I think we did not pass in the values. Yeah. Okay, in main workflow or in process, save import arguments. Industry name and city name is what we require. Transaction item in transaction item dot specific content, and in this specific content I need to update the item property. So here we have values, view transactions, view details. So industry name is what I need to send, and also the city. Industry name dot toString and city, so that the value gets captured and we will be able to run this flow. So I think I can close this now, and let's debug this again. Is it still throwing an error? No, it's not. So actually it is fetching the values. It has only one value. Now the same values should be written in an Excel is what our requirement is. Okay, so there is no closing activity. So the bot should start attach. So here we have an error. Let's see what is the error. extract companies. Here we have the item as Internet Explorer, and this should work. So let's run the bot again. Here, this bot, so that we'll add queue items. Let's see here in this particular items. Let's close, refresh. We have new items, so let's stop. Yes, and let's debug here. I think this we should be able to fetch the values now, and we need to write it or append range. So let's run the file, and prior to that, let's close this. Okay, it's fetching the values. I think we can extract only 20 because that's the limit that I have given initially, and it will fetch for the next item. Yes. So now in this webinar, what exactly we have seen is we converted something which is in Excel and we pushed the values into queue. And see, one process task is only to send the items to queue, and the second process task is to take the values from queue and add it to the next item. So here, if you see, we have the values properly segregated, and we have sub industry, industry, level, okay, and location as well. See, a few items are jumbled. So okay, so here it is. Here is the complete data that we are able to extract with use of queues. So tomorrow I'll start with a new session. Like, share, and subscribe my channel Vajrang Talks. But do let me know if you have any doubts in the chat, or as well in my LinkedIn channel, or you can directly ping me in my mobile. My mobile number is 964229492. This is the same number which I use for WhatsApp. So go ahead and ping them. And thank you for being live, staying patient with me, and trying to solve this particular use case. And as I have said, I am trying to complete it with every webinar, but this is a complex data structuring or data extraction that we are trying to do, because few items are failing and the structure need to be done properly, and for the next board it should have the proper results. So we'll try to add all those values in the next webinar. Okay, bye bye for now. Vajrang signing off, and it's late night. I need to sleep.